You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thing.
Excuse me. Welcome, Smarter Options. Pre-market. Let's go ahead and look over some of these charts, see what's going on. I'm not quite sure that we're out of this sell-off yet. I know yesterday, Amina said, quick fake sell-off. The ES hit the 50-day EMA, and you can see, and then it broke back up. The one thing that's important to look at, though, is I'm a firm believer in diagonal trend lines. And you can see we do have a pattern forming here, right? You guys know how I trade with the MACD. I don't trade crossovers like you'd see here. Okay, let's just zoom in on that real quick. So I don't trade the crossovers. What I trade is the zero line. This is the zero line. Okay, whenever your MACD is above the zero line, you're trending up. Whenever it is below, you are trending down. And the way that I really love to use the MACD zero line is it's crucial if you're at a support or a resistance, you know whether it's going to hold or break through. So for example, right here, okay, we're at the top of this trend line, and you could ask yourself if you were going to break upward and break out of it or not. It was also sitting along these support lines, but the MACD was about to cross the zero line. That is a strong indication that that is not going to hold, okay? Here you can see it was coming up. Like I said, there was really there was the 34 EMA, but nothing too strong there that I would have been looking at. It's once again 34 EMA, but here, was it going to fail this 50 EMA with the MACD coming up and crossing the zero line? No, it would not fail. Okay, so now what we're going to look at is we're going to see if it can break through the 9 and 20 EMA or this upper trend line, which they're right line in line right now. Not a coincidence this happens this way. Okay, as of right now, the ES is above, but it looks like it's going to start coming down here. So we'll have to see, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it's ready to break out yet. So I think we might head back lower again, but then we see, right? Oops. Make this a little bit smaller again. Okay, we can go look at some stocks here real quick. Let's go look at Amazon, for example. This is gapping back up this morning. The problem with gap ups is a lot of times, especially if it's in a sell-off like pattern, right, is sellers will take an opportunity here to resell or sell more of their position, and it comes right back down to where it closed. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen today, but that happens quite a bit. Okay. Also, no coincidence, right? This looks very similar to the ES. It's the SPY, and Amazon's a big leader of the SPY, just like Apple. Okay, I would imagine Apple. Oh no, Apple looks quite a bit different. Apple's actually about to break. Oh, it did break out. Do be careful though here, because I had drawn this out a while back. But here was a pattern that Apple broke out of, okay? And this would be my first price target, which is right where the price is hitting. So you gotta be careful here, okay? Probably see some resistance, come back down, and then maybe take off. But once again, here's a strong trend line. If we go to since that trend line is so formed, right? Let's go to like the 2-hour chart here. And I just want to show you guys, here we were coming up, And here it wasn't ready yet, right? But then it came back up and it was right up against that trend line. The MACD was crossing back up. Strong indicator we were going to break through. Okay, that breakthrough was imminent right here on this turnaround. Okay. I love charts, guys. Let's go back to the 15-minute. So anyway, we'll have to see what the MACD looks like this morning after the market opens. But technically, this is still downtrending, right? This broke. Well, this has kind of been hovering around. So this actually broke the trend or broke the support right here. We fell into a downward trend. You can see it's tried to pull up once, couldn't quite get there. It's been hovering right around that zero line, keeps failing. So maybe this time it finally has enough to get through, or like I said, or the sellers take an opportunity here and it'll dive back down. Flow is bullish on Amazon, so I would tend to think it's going to go back up, but then we see. Guys, comments are on. If there's anything you want to talk about or look at, please just ask. My Costco put, I rolled those yesterday, and actually let's look at that real quick. I just want to show you guys what I was seeing. Cost. Okay, so yesterday I had a little bit of conflicting issues. One was, which I'll go to why I had originally shorted in the first place, but I've shown you guys that the dark pool sentiment, this has been very negative. It looks like it's going to pull back. Okay. Yesterday was the first day there was a big dark pool buy. So that concerned me a little bit. So I got out on one of these right here. Okay. But then I went and looked at my charts. MACD was still below the zero line, which is, once again, it was struggling right here, which to me on my charting wise said it was going to go lower. So that's why I re-entered and rolled, was because I was watching this right here, which I wasn't super active yesterday because I was sick in bed, but the few times I did get up, I was looking at the market. That is something I noticed. Okay, so that is why I did that. Now I will still watch, but let me just show you guys why I think this is not going to do well. First of all, we have earnings coming up here next week, next Thursday. So I'll definitely be buying more puts next Thursday, I think, unless something changes. But let me just show you guys some retail here. Here's Best Buy. Okay. Last time Best Buy had earnings, they crushed it, 57% surprise, right? And it jumped up and then came right back down anyway. But they crushed it. And I think everybody thought they were just going to crush it again. So it really ramped up high this time. And they only beat by 6%. And it tanked. Okay. Back to October lows. But it's broken the 200-day EMA. But all the gains lost within, the earnings was just out on November 23rd. So in a week, lost all those gains. Okay, and guys, this is why puts can make so much more money, is because when things lose, they lose so much faster than what they go up. So there's Best Buy. Let's go look at, I know Target just had earnings. I think it was Target. Yes, Target just had earnings. Okay, surprised by 7%. Once again, if we go back to their last earnings, they actually didn't do very well last earnings either. Okay, so last earnings, they didn't do very well. Tanked, continued to tank, but this time on earnings, it really ramped back up again, got to an all-time high up here, 269, right, which is all-time high, 268.98, and earnings came out. They beat by 7%, wasn't enough to impress the market apparently, and it crushed, went down and had a 100 EMA pullback. Okay. I don't think Walmart's had earnings yet, have they? Oh, they must have. Yep. Walmart beat by 3%. Once again, we were close to all-time highs. I mean, here's actually the all-time highs was on last earnings, and they beat by 13%, and then it went down. But here right away after earnings, especially after earnings, right? So it already started to fall before earnings. And this is why I started taking puts on Costco already, is because I'm concerned that it might start falling early, and I don't want to miss the bulk of the fall. So I did a starter position, but they beat by 3%. And again, 200 EMA pullback. Okay. So retail's not doing good. And if you go look at cost here again, I just want to show you guys this. Look at this ridiculous climb this thing's been having. Let's just go to the 30-minute chart. So it's a little more on here. Look at this. That's not sustainable. I mean, this is like the SPY, but in retail. Anyway, if this thing has even a 50-day EMA pullback, that's 500. Okay, and it needs to have a 50-day EMA pullback, maybe even a 100-day EMA pullback. And if it has a 200-day EMA pullback, I will be dancing. Okay. But that's what I'm getting ready for, and that's what I'm watching for. Okay. I just don't think it's going to do well. And with all the dark pool sentiment, I don't think that big money thinks it's going to do well either. Now, like I said, I'll keep watching dark pool sentiment, and we'll keep an eye on what's going to happen here before earnings. But all Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all the dark pool sentiment was very negative going into earnings. Okay. MasterCard, I actually still have a position in MasterCard. I kept a couple runners going, which went back down to below original entry. But I did so well, and they were at $9 last week. We had bought in at $3.15. They went up to $9 last week. I was out of the bulk of my position. I had a few runners left. They went down, but now I think it's going to start seeing this climb back up because they just announced an $8 billion buyback. So I'll be watching dark pool sentiment here, but I think you'll start seeing this flow back upwards also. So I'll be keeping an eye on that and see what happens. But I think you'll see this turn around also. Apple had some good news. I already went over Apple, like I said, and it's already pulling back a little bit. But let's just go look at pre-market here real quick. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, guys. I'm not guessing when I put these targets up. I drew this target. Fuck, that was a video from I drew it right before the breakout. Because I put it right here when I was looking at it. So that would have been on November 16th, I drew this. Okay. And I was just looking for, if it breaks out this way, how high would it go? Okay. And that is exactly where the top hit in pre-market and then took a sharp drop. It bought back up. But like I said, there are going to be sell orders right here. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to power through this, but this is a first price target. That's how you do this, is you take the height of a channel, okay? And that's how you determine how far it's going to break out. Now, once again, this channel was built up this channel's been building since, if we go back and look, so it broke out of this one. So it really started in this channel back in July. So it's been building for a long time. Okay. And it broke out on November 17th. So it took a couple weeks to get here, to break out that pattern and get to its first price target. Your second price target would be if you took the channel plus the height of the flagpole. Okay. So your next target would be from here to say there. Okay. That would be our next price target. So next price target on this going up is going to be about 180, 181. Okay. If this continues and when this continues, that would be the next price target. We're all at all-time high for this. Okay, are there anything you guys want to see? Please type in comments. We can go over it real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to look through here real quick, but I don't think there's anything else I was going to go over today. We'll look at ES one more time here before close. A lot of things are gapping up this morning, guys. Which, if you were listening to Veer yesterday, I think she told everybody she thought it was going to gap up this morning. See what even here, gapped up, came back and filled the gap. If we gap up, we might see the same thing happen. I mean, we're still seeing, this actually got a higher high. And we got a little bit of lower low. We'll have to see what happens here, but like go back to the ES real quick. Oops, ES. Okay. One of the concerns I have with the ES also is that we're still getting lower lows and lower highs. Okay. I mean, because even if this gets up to this trend line, that's still a lower high, right? We really need to see it break above these EMAs to hold, if it's going to hold. Okay. That's really all I have to say. Oh, I will give you guys one warning. I saw this morning. So there was an article this morning about, let's go to news. Well, there was something this morning about Walmart and CEOs. Walmart CEO says Biden supply chain push is easing bottlenecks. Okay, so it was yesterday. What to be concerned about with this is that I've told, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I've been talking with lots of people about the market and different things, right? But the supply chain is one of the things that's causing the short squeeze in the market. Prices are up, which is, and then there's inflation, so it's making all these numbers look bigger and better. But as soon as the supply chain catches up and all these products start massing the shelves and prices drive down, right? Inflation's already occurred. It's going to be the start of the crash, I believe. So I'm curious I'll be watching that very closely. Be watching that very closely. But if the supply chain really is catching up, that will be the first step to the crash coming. Anyway, guys, good luck today. If you have any questions, hit me up. Nobody asked to see any stocks or anything, so we'll see you guys in chat. Good luck today.